Hello YouTube, this is Stash back with part 3 of my series on the Stasi. Part 3 is maybe, hopefully, more concise and lucid, but I doubt it. I'm asking the question, what happened to the smuggler from way back in the early 80s, Richard Megabucks Müller? Wanted by COCOM, wanted by the counterintelligence forces of the US, of course, the FBI, CIA, counterintelligence, the whole bit. I don't think he was ever caught. I don't even think they got a photograph of the guy. He became a millionaire smuggler. I believe he had used, one of his methods was used accounts out of Liechtenstein. A Liechtenstein Anstalt, which you don't have to put your real name on, a very good product. He was an incredible smuggler. They never caught him. There was one point, I think he was on an actual freighter, the Elong or something, and they just boarded it and he got out. I think they almost got him in a plane one time. Like I was saying in the previous vlogs, the Customs Department guys came close, but they just couldn't get him. He was on the list. I think Congress even had a meeting and they were like, Richard Müller. Also, yeah, that's in a book that goes way back by J. Tuck, High Tech Espionage. Put that in the liner notes. And there was also Linda Melbourne wrote about this stuff too, and Nick Anning and David Hendrick or something like that. High Tech Espionage. They wrote about Monitor Müller as well. Anybody know what happened to him? Let me see if it would be wissen Sie was mit Richard Müller und Udo Proksch. He's another guy, of which I've done a bunch of YouTubes on him because he's fascinating. I have some ridiculous ones like, did he and his secret society Club 45, did they kill the pop singer Falco? If you know what I'm talking about, you're amazing. So jump forward. So there was also the Stasi made a lot of money out of Austria too, and all these guys were smugglers, and the most famous was a guy named Udo Proksch, who's very famous in Austria and pretty much unknown in the States, of course. They made a musical about him, Udo 77, and a documentary only in German, in Deutsch, called Out of Control. Out of Control. I had an artist actually make me a poster for my comedy show, Stash's Comedy Jam. A friend of mine long ago had made a joke that I have a scar on my belly button and therefore I'm not Müller. And he used to do these obscure, crappy, rambling comedy bits about I'm not Müller. But I thought it was pretty funny. In other words, Müller. And then I had a thing that Müller had attorneys and they were all dying. Because he's from the secret world of espionage. And he's a badass. They never caught Müller. They caught Udo Proksch. He was too big. There was a well, he reached a couple of books about this stuff. The Seduced by Secrets, by the name the author I can't remember, and old books. Oh no, well that's a pretty recent book. The High Tech Espionage book. I think that goes back decades. They feature Proksch, and another one about disaster in the high seas. The reason why they featured that, and it was the downfall of Udo, was that he insured this freighter, the Lacona. There's actually a movie about it called The Lacona Affair, where he took a bunch of junk and crap and he insured it as nuclear processors, and he blew it up and killed some of the crew to collect on the insurance. Wild story. In the Indian Ocean somewhere. I mean, he's killing guys or whatever, and I think he expected the whole ship to be blown up and to be no sign, but he had some bad luck, and some guys made it. He was a friend of Chancellor Bruno Krinsky, if I'm saying his name right, and so he was under the protection of him, and the tide changed, the government changed, and probably Club 45, which was some kind of socialist, maybe a left-wing Masonic lodge, as a difference than the P2. If you're from Austria and you speak English and you're getting a kick out of this stupid, or you're from Germany, you're getting a kick out of my weird random blog, let me know what you thought. Now, he was such a fantastic and lovable character in a weird way, and God forgive me, anybody who got killed, obviously your families curse the name of Proksch every day, but he was the kind of guy that made everybody love him. He was I think he married Daphne Wagner, who was beautiful, and he talked her into getting naked on television, which is crazy. He owned the royal house there, the Dammel house, which is incredible. They have like a glass wall, and you can see people in white suits, and they're like doing the confection. I can't get enough. We cannot get enough of the Dammel house. In that, in looking over translated, pages on the internet, they're always translating from English to German, and Google Translator, or this translator, that translator. It's like, there were people who were like, I don't think he did it. They didn't want to believe that he did it, and he ran. Udo Proksch, aka Serge Kirchhofer, ran from Austria, and they caught him. I think for a long time they had a picture of him at the Dammel house with the V symbol, which I think is a Masonic symbol, that V, unless it's a dirty one or whatever. But I think they finally took it down. He lost a wild court case, and he passed away in prison from heart failure during a bypass operation. Or he's still alive with a full, complete plastic surgery thing, and he lives in Bonn. Udo developed, actually, he was a genius and an artist as well. Not only did he bake cakes at the Royal Confectionery in Vienna, he develops eyeglasses, and just the paintings of them are incredible. If you're a friend of Udo's, or you dig him and you're from Austria, let me know what you think. Or you hate him. Are you from the family? I want to hear from anybody. So when Warner Stiller, defected from the East, Proksch was like, everybody, he's just trying to make himself more interesting. Everybody's a spy. Just because I traveled to the Soviet Union, does it make me a spy? Hilarious. I mean, at one point that he got kicked out of technical college, and he was like, they kicked me out in '52. They did not like my style. He had this company Kibelak or whatever, or Sacher Technik und Wien. That was there were these scientists that that were trying to sell embargoed material, and obviously he was the most wild one. I love the stories of this guy. Makes you want to live in Vienna. So he was good at stealing groceries from the Americans. So he was even on a TV show about his thoughts on life. Out of control. This is a really obscure topic. Probably won't make any sense, or wouldn't even make any sense if you were from Austria. But I'm really drifting. But check out my weird YouTubes I've done on Udo, and the whole Viennese scene, the country of the third man, the company of the spionage. I like everything about it. I like the postal boxes of Postfach. The streets are like this long. The Bunderwandstraße. Just the name of the cops and stuff you can't really say. I mean, it's like amazing. The businessmen are senators. Senator. You're not just a doctor, you're doctor. I don't know if Proksch was doctor. Doctor. If you're going to do Udo 77 Part 2, you got to have me in it. I mean, because, of course, I helped him bake the cakes. If you're a friend of Udo's and you miss him, give me a ring. If you're from the Stasi and you're pissed that I'm making these videos, well, let me know. I want to hear what you think, because this was exciting stuff. Exciting times. Do we not miss the Cold War? It seems so much more uncertain now, doesn't it? Alright, this has been part 3 of my series of rambling about Stasi. Auf Wiedersehen.